of Beauty for Ashes. And my name is Brooke Grandison, and I'm the CEO and Clinical Director of Essentials for Healing. And I have on today's episode Devon Elzy, who's going to share his story. He's a manager, he's a brother, he's a husband, he's a father, amongst many things. But something that is so key with Devon's story is he's going to talk about his challenges as to how he's overcome. And I'm talking about challenges regarding as far as growing up, as far as having a mother that was in the foster care system and having to maneuver that and having to go through various challenges of just even becoming a man and also dealing with different things as far as hustling, so much more. And he's going to share his story today. And you guys know that Beauty for Ashes is a show where people can come and share their story, and it's for the viewers out there that as they listen they begin to receive encouragement and also receive something that can change their life, or even just simply seeing that people can overcome despite how far the situation or how deep the situation is. So thank you again, Devon, for being here. Welcome again. We're so happy to have you. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and then tell us a little bit about your upbringing, how you started, how you came into this world.
Well, myself now, I'm a father. It's one of the best things. I feel like I've been a manager. I got the position. I've got a lot of money. I've gotten the car that I want, all the other stuff, and nothing. I've gotten like houses and property. Nothing is at the level of being a father. Like, in my opinion, personally.
Yeah.
Like being a father and being a husband is like one of the best things I
Yeah.
I love it.
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
It's never a dull moment, but I love it.
Which is amazing, just where you are now in life. So tell us, we're going to peel the onion tonight, but tell us a little bit about what's your background, how you started, how you came into this world.
My mom, long time. So born Christmas, 1992.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was my mama gift.
Yeah.
I was my mama gift on that Christmas day. I was born in Queen of Angels Hospital.
Oh.
I think it's in Hollywood somewhere.
So was I.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice. Before they changed the name, I don't know.
Yeah,
what the name
Cedar
is.
Sinai.
Yeah, something like that. But she was put in adoption at a very young age. My grandmother, she was a Black Panther. She was a model.
Oh.
She got taken advantage of because she was model and stuff like that, being around the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
She's from Hawaii, so when she came to the States, the mainland, things was just a little bit too fast and stuff for her, so she got caught up in some things. And my mama got put in the system after that, and my mom got pregnant around like 15.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind sharing, like, can you give like a general gist of like what caused your mom to be placed in the system?
So my grandmother, she was on drugs. You know, it was crack epidemic, all that stuff going around. You know.
Yeah.
Just being around all that stuff, just all that, just bad people, bad crowd, and then from being in a nice place like Hawaii, when it's like family oriented, then throwing into like LA area around those times, it's kind of like a culture shock.
Yeah.
So definitely she got taken advantage of, and my mother is a product and stuff like that. And my grandfather, I know he was this Indian twin from Pomona. He was from I think it was Pomona Park, Peru or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. She got taken advantage of. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And then as far as what age did your mom have you?
I think about like 16 or like late 15.
That's young.
Yeah. And she tells me stories about how she met my dad at the school and how that went, and they was all kids in the system. I think she went to like Washington.
Oh yeah, I know what that
Washington
is.
Prep, but she would change from a lot of schools because she would go from like placement to placement.
Yeah.
So it was really difficult for her to like keep a family group or something like that. And I can only imagine as like a young woman in the system, you go through all kind of crazy stuff like that, and it's just like the level of strength that she had as a woman. I was like, man, this woman's like superwoman. Like, she overcame all that, and it wasn't easy, but she had like 4 boys before she turned like 26. So I'm like, and she held all that down. in the 90s, and
Yeah.
like, in our area that we was in, and we all not dead, I was like, that right there is a win.
Yeah.
I know people think that the bar is low. They're just like, oh, I just survived.
No,
but that's a win. Like, the stuff that you see on the regular and you think is normal is not. You don't understand what it does to you until you take yourself out that area, and then you want better, and then you have children, and you're like, what was we doing at that time? Like,
and what area did you grow up in?
so I grew up all around LA. I remember being in when we was like in the system, and then we would be at shelters. We would be at certain shelters, and they have certain programs, or you have to get a voucher for like motels and stuff like that. And then they got certain rules, like certain people can't come into or out the motel at certain times, stuff like that. So I remember my brother's dad used to have to like sneak through the window to see my mom type stuff. One of the motels is over there on like Fig, I think in like the 80s and the 90s, across the street from that numero uno. It's not the best area, but
man. And how many times did you, like, if you could recall, like, did you have to move? Like, your mother, she's coming out the system, she's young, she's a teenager. Like, do you recall how many times you guys moved from motel to motel or different shelters?
I was so young. I just remember always having a backpack and like, gotta go somewhere.
Wow.
Like, okay, we gotta leave here. Okay, we gotta figure out like couch surfing, and then we was couch surfing with family type stuff. We was in like different projects, so that's around Watts. We was in like the Jordans. We was in the Nickersons, Imperial Courts, like different family members and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when we finally got a stable place to stay, it was this little studio on I think it was like 118th and Avalon or something like that. Somewhere, it wasn't in the projects though. And that's when my mom was dating my little brother dad, and that's when I become a little bit more conscious and aware of my surroundings.
Yeah.
So I'm like taking in a lot more stuff, and that's when I'm seeing like my mom, like she getting into it with my brother's dad, and of course it's like domestic violence.
Did you witness that domestic violence?
Yeah, often, and then very young, I realized like, oh man, my mama is Superwoman, but she can't protect me. So it's like the one person you love and you think you're supposed to protect you, can't protect you.
Ooh.
So in that mindset, I got my younger brother BB at the time, and then this is before my brother's dad that was beating on my mama, before they were born. So I'm looking at this happening. We in this small studio because he beating on her. There ain't nowhere you can go. It's a little kitchen, and it's the whole little living room area, and that's the front door. So I'm looking at him put hands on my mom, and I'm trying to stop. And then I'm a kid. He just tossed me to the side, and then I just go and I just curl up in between the two, like little mattresses. We had mattresses on the floor, and then I just have to watch it.
Ooh. How long did you watch that domestic violence for?
She was going through that for some years, but then it's like it kind of sucks because it's like, but that was the only man that she knew around. And that's what we think is supposed to be the tough type of man. We never really had a good role model. You think that's what tough and stuff is.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think that because I'm like, you tough, but you put your hands on a woman. Like, go fight men and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that, you know? But
how did that impact you? Like, you know, watching your mom getting beaten up on, like, how do you think that impacted you?
you don't really know until like you get older and you be like, like that's probably why I move like that. But I became extremely like, let me hurry up and grow up because I feel like I can do it better.
Got you.
And that's how like my mindset was for a long time. It's like, okay, I feel like this isn't okay. I feel like this isn't right. This don't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So I think I can do a better job at it. So I was always in a rush to grow up, and I kind of missed out on childhood. But it's like, I'm a man on a mission. I'm a child on a mission, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I gotta protect my little brother, who's another thing that was extra for her. He was special needs. He had like level 3 grand mal seizures, and he has a lot of like problems and stuff too. So seeing all that, especially knowing now, seeing that my mom went through the system, she was a teen and she did that. Superwoman status to me. Like, you know, nobody's perfect. But being in that type of system and being able to come out on top. Because I see people struggling today with one kid.
But here she has, like, a special needs child. She has you, and
Yeah.
then she was young, a
Yeah,
young mother.
she's like a child raising a child.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh. Alongside with now you have your special needs brother. You witnessed domestic violence. What are some of the other struggles that you faced with growing up and experiencing all these different dynamics?
well, from there, we moved around a lot still. I wasn't too sure if it was because we didn't have like maybe Section 8 voucher or something like that, but I know we was getting like government assistance and helping her for the most part, majority of her life. I would see my mom working like jobs, or she would work at the Taco Bell over there on like in Watts. It's in Watts by the little Food for Less by the what is it, the Green Line? Yeah, so I would see her work there. She would work at Superior over there. I think on like what is it, 101st or something like that. So she would be like working all around the community trying to get her coin or something like that. And I would just see her stress, and then just come back and be irritated. And then me and my brother, we would be watched by whatever family member she got.
Okay.
And being that she was in the system, these was her system like family members. These wasn't her blood family members.
Okay, so just other foster youth that was
So,
in the system.
And these wasn't exactly the best people to be around, but that's all she really had. She got to work.
What happened to family?
Well, most of our Hawaiian side of the family was gone. Like they still like on the island.
Wow.
And there was only a select few that was on the mainland, and then pretty much for some reason they just didn't choose to pick Ma's mom out of all the siblings, because there was a couple of them. And I never knew my grandmother until we got a little bit older. And from me watching cartoons and movies, I'm thinking my grandma was supposed to be cooking cookies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It wasn't that at all.
What was grandma like? I know you said she was a Black Panther, or part of the Black Panther Party.
That was before she got into the drugs and stuff like that. She was let me borrow $20 type of grandma.
And that's when she's on drugs and.
What she was after? I don't think she was on drugs.
Oh.
I don't think she was. But yeah, she would just tell us, and then she would tell us stories and stuff like that. When later on, when I did meet her and my brothers, and then she would tell me like, "Oh, you guys are like descendants from, like, I think King Kamehameha II or something like that." And I would be like, "Oh, that's dope. Maybe one day they'll find out that I'm some lineage and somebody will save me from this crap." Like, but yeah, just seeing all that stuff like that, you get used to it.
Wow. Did that ever pass down with your mom, like witnessing your grandma? I don't know if she witnessed your grandma do drugs, but having that dynamic for her, did mom ever get into some struggles that impacted you guys?
She did. She never did drugs, and that's what I give her so much credit for. Like, she didn't do no drugs. She didn't turn out to be like on crack or nothing like that. Us being in around that area, her having that much stress, and then seeing her come back from work like stressing and still scraping and stuff like that, it was just like, man, this woman is strong. She definitely like gave me like, okay, she's strong. Like, she's stronger than most men I see, because I don't even see most men taking care of their kids and doing stuff like that. So I'm like, she definitely got a heart of gold. Yeah. And it just sucks, because it's like when kids grow up, and I've noticed this and I've seen this, a lot of people grow up with a chip on their shoulder because they upset of the lifestyle that their parent gave them. But it's like, dude, you got to remember, she didn't have it all figured out. She had a life too. You know, like, so when they grow up and they got this like irritation, like animosity towards their parent, it's like, how would you have handled that in that situation? Yeah. Like, if you have 4 kids as a teen, like before you hit like mid-20s, and you got to figure out where to stay and live, like, come on now.
Exactly.
Like, so.
Did the best with what she had.
Yeah, and it does kind of suck, because it's like, you don't, the father, when they're not there, they don't even get the heat. They just be like, okay, you wasn't there, but you don't have more to say toward the father than you have towards the mother, because he wasn't there, other than just you wasn't there.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy how moms get more of the hit?
And I noticed that, and I always thought that I was a little bit disappointed. I'm like, because I talked to my father a couple of times when he was in jail, and I was like, look, if you can't answer this one question for me, I'm not even trying to be mean or rude. Like, what is your favorite memory of me? You don't have one, because you weren't there.
Woo.
So, that's just...
Man. And then as far as, like, were there moments in your life, even though you mostly grew up with mom, that you wished you had your dad there? Or was it like, he's not here, I'm kind of used to this dynamic we got going on with mom?
Honestly, like, you can't miss what you never really had.
That's true.
So of course I see stuff on TV because a lot of TV like raised me. So my image of what a man was supposed to be, as crazy as it sounds, Denzel Washington had a lot to do with it. So watching his movies and then seeing like other people and then seeing like old movies and then me being around a bunch of like gangs and stuff like that, but I'm seeing how gangs is being portrayed by different cultures and stuff and thing, and I was like, I like when they had like respect.
Mhm.
Like you can be a thug and stuff, but you can be clean in business and stuff like so. Just seeing stuff like that, I just took all that in and I just built what I thought. I mean, it somewhat worked. I'm a good husband,
Yeah.
you know. Like,
Yeah.
but it's hard to build something from almost nothing.
Yeah.
So
Ooh. So, tell me about some of the struggles that you have to deal with becoming a man and growing up. Like, what was that like for you? What were some of the things that you faced on a day-to-day basis, living in quote unquote as far as like an economically disadvantaged community?
well, difficult struggles was like back then you didn't have enough clothes, didn't have enough money to do certain things. Of course, I ain't gonna blame my mama. So it's like if you want it, like I said, I was in a rush to grow up so I can have it because I'm not trying to be the kid without the cool fit. I'm not trying to be the kid because I would have to fight a lot because of somebody was making fun of my special needs brother, which I didn't play because my mom always taught us we all we got, like protect your brother. So she always instilled that in me, and of course I'm gonna protect because I'm the oldest one here.
Yeah.
You know? So learning how to fight, learning how to not be scared of certain stuff. I remember being a kid. You know, kids are scared of dark. I would purposely get up at like 2, 3 in the morning and watch like the Freddy movies to make sure like I'm not scared of the dark.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would just do certain things like that
To test yourself.
to test myself. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you know, like just stuff like that. And then when we stayed in what was it, the Ujima Village before they tore it down. It's behind Magic Johnson Park in like Compton. They found out that was poisonous with water or something.
What?
Yeah, like it was something was wrong with the land. But she taught me how to hustle because of course my mom, you know, who her dad and stuff was, she was like, okay, look, we got food stamps, but we got bills to pay. We can't pay these bills with these food stamps. So she had a snack shack. She had like a little candy house. And if you go, it's like when you go around the corner by that park, it's a Smart and Final. So she would send me and a homie, cause you, of course you don't want to go nowhere by yourself around there. So it was me and the homies, and I had my little GT Dino bike. So it was mashing. Go with my backpack, go get some candy in bulk, and then she would be like, "This is how we're gonna cut this up. This is how much it costs for the food stamps. This is how much cash gonna be. We're gonna pay these bills, and I'm gonna pay you in some candy bars."
Wow.
As a kid, I was like, cause I was going to 122nd Street School. I think I was in like 3rd grade.
Oh, that's like 8 years old.
Yeah.
8, 9 years old.
Yeah. So she teaching me how to do and stuff and move like that, and pretty much making $1 out of 5 cents. You know, to make lemonade out of
so
lemon
you was
stuff.
rolling around with the backpack and the candy.
With me and the homies, and then she would be like, she would give us all candy and stuff at the end of the day, but she was like, "This is how much you should come back with. Go to the park," because this is back then when people would go to the park. This is before social media. And internet stuff like that. So you take a backpack of Snickers and stuff to the park, man, you cleaning up. You know what I'm saying? So and then like everybody in the, I don't know what gang it was, but everybody in the hood was pretty much like, "Hey, let little homie be. Don't touch little homie." And that's when it was like more respect. It's not like how it is now. Yeah. There was more respect. There was like, them little homies is making their money. Let me buy something from you. Where your mama at? They would try to get at the mama. But so
you was protected out there.
Yeah. And that's what I was like, okay, this is what somewhat community look like.
Yeah.
Went down right. They put us in a bad area, but we make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, ooh, I can imagine like the little kid going around. You had quotas.
Yeah. I was like, I ate a chocolate bar. I was hungry.
Oh my goodness. And so you learned to hustle at 8 or 9 years old. Like
younger than that, but because even before that, we would go to the store. We got a certain amount of food stamps. I think we get on like the 1st or the 6th. And this is the book, the food stamp book.
Yeah.
I don't remember, people know it used to be book with a bunch of colors. And she would be like, okay. She would test me. She would be like, it's me, you and your brothers. What kind of bread do we get? Do we get the home pride that's more expensive, or do we get this cheap bread? And I'm like, bread is bread. I don't know if you put a sandwich with it, but she like, this is more, we get more of this. It's quantity over quality with us right now. Wow. So I'm learning how to stretch money, and that mindset helped me in my adulthood when I became a manager, because I've been managing since 17.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, I got my first manager position when I was like 17.
Talk about growing up fast too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I got kicked out at like 16.
What?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So yeah. So it's a bunch to a jump. So okay. So
walk us through leading up to that point.
So I'm hustling stuff in the Ujima village, doing stuff like that, and I remember having some random visits from people with like clipboards or papers or stuff like that, and I remember moms would be like, "Hey, hide these clothes and do stuff like that," and I didn't know why we was hiding like our dude that she was dating at the clothes, but I guess we couldn't have men in the house. So
Really?
a lot of people don't know that when you own government assistance stuff like that, they do like random pop-ups, and they check and they like looking through your stuff and be like, "Do you have a man in the house?" And if you do, they kick you off of the stuff.
Wow.
So I don't know what or how it happened, but before they shut down the Ujima village, we had to move. And I guess, I don't know if we got caught up or something like that. So we ended up moving to a 1-bedroom on Century in between Fig and Hoover.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I got a lot of fights in there too, because people would always try to bully my brother. He was special needs, they would try to talk stuff about him. He had to wear a helmet, like a little padded helmet, because he would just fall out.
When he has a seizure in
Yeah,
his
yeah.
head.
And I'll never forget, like, that it's polarizing seeing your brother like fall and seize up and just start twitching, and then like you see his eyes, and then sometimes they like beat us up or whatever, and then I'm just like, what's going on? Like, what happened? Like, it's my brother, it's my little brother. I can't do nothing. Like, it's just crazy to see those things at a young age, and it's like, then we would go to Children's Hospital a lot, and I think it's like somewhere in Hollywood or something like that. But yeah, when we moved over here to Century and Fig, it was a different type of gang area, because I'm used to being in Ujima village, where everybody is one hood.
Yeah.
But going out there, and I'm like, you got all these different hoods. You got Hoovers, you got like Denver Lanes, you got 7, you got like all these other different gangs, and then you like on Century and like somewhat of the middle ground.
Ooh.
And it's like you can't wear certain colors and stuff like that. So it's definitely, I had to adjust. And then moms was like, stay with your homies, like stay with your friends. Don't go nowhere alone. Don't go down this alleyway. This, like, you just got to know your blocks.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I went to Barrett Elementary School, and I love that school. Like, it was a predominantly like black school. The principal was Miss Robbins. She was like short hair with like the
the fact that you fully remember.
Yeah, cause it's like, now growing up, I wish I would have appreciated it more. Like seeing more and stuff like that, cause now it's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
So I wish I would have appreciated it more. But kids being stupid, African blue skirt, stuff like that. But I definitely appreciate it. It was like seeing all those teachers and stuff like that. My first big crush was like my teacher. She was like nice and clean and just like together. She was calm. She was like, and I was like, oh snap.
Yeah.
Like I never seen nothing like that.
Wow.
But yeah. Teachers got a lot of, in my opinion, teachers have a lot of impact on the youth, because sometimes that's the best clean cut thing that you see in your area.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh.
but yeah. From fighting a lot, I had to go to some anger management type class or something when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade, because it was this one kid. His name was, I'll never forget. His name was Apollonio. What kind of name
That's
is
different.
that? Apollonio. Never forget that name. And he was clowning my little brother, and then he kept saying like racist things. He was Hispanic. And then I just had enough, because like it was stressful. I had to walk to school every day and stuff like that, doing all this other stuff, and sometimes I don't feel like fighting in the morning.
Yeah.
And then it's just like he kept saying stuff, and the teacher wouldn't stop him. I'm like, you the person in charge. You're supposed to be helping me. And it's like, hey, gotta do it myself then. Just kept giving it to him, and then they had to pull me off the kid, and then they put me in the class. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm just reacting off of it. Like, what you think I'm gonna just keep taking that? Like, do you know where we are? We don't take disrespect. It's not normal. Like, but yeah, and then that's when I start knowing. I'm like, okay, these systems and stuff isn't always there to help you. And this is at a young age. I'm like, I'm just putting stuff together.
Yeah.
And I saw that more in the school system, because from Barrett, I went to Bret Hart. Bret Hart is in Hoover neighborhood, deep, and it's a lot of 18th streets there now. Coming from that type of gang area going to junior high, it's a big shift. And in my opinion, and I don't think that I was really ready for it, because in elementary, it's Hispanic and black, and then you cool with people and stuff like that. But when you go to junior high, then it becomes super racial. We're not friends
Yeah,
anymore.
which is interesting.
Yeah, which was weird. And then I'll never forget, it was this one girl named Julia that she I guess she had a crush on me or something. And there was her big brother was Hispanic, and he was in a higher grade. And I'll never forget, he like got me in the corner. He was like some typical bully stuff. He was like, stay away from my sister. And he called me the N-word in Spanish, and then he was like, no, we don't want you talking to my sister, something like that. And I'm like, she's just my friend. Like, confused. I ended up getting my lick back when I got older, and I caught him on the street though. Yeah, because it's just a lot of bullies forget who they bully, but the person that's getting bullied never forgets.
They never forget.
Because they'll never forget how you make them feel. And
that's
people,
true.
you know what I'm saying? So he was like, and I was like, aren't you Junior? He was like, yeah, he was on a bike. I was like, yeah, you don't remember me, do you? Get off your bike. He was like, what? I was like, and I told him. He was like, you could see it in his face. Mink. Just you had to do stuff like that at the where we were, because if not, they're gonna keep bothering you.
Wow.
So in junior high, it became all about gangs and stuff like that. And I don't know if a lot of people remember, it was a lot of race riots back then. Like all the time, people would walk out, people would just do it, and they would do it just for fun. And I never understood. I'm like, we'll be cool on most days, but just because somebody said it's a race riot, and this is before social media, so I don't know how the word got out.
I used to always think about that. Like, how did people know when to start the riot, when to be prepared?
Yeah.
I guess word of mouth was really powerful.
Yeah, and this is right when to chirps, when we had the church.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So being in that area and then being that the stakes are higher because these gangbangers in that area, they actually will shoot you and kill you, no matter if you're a kid. And I was like, I thought gangbanger was only really pressed on the adults. But when you got to junior high, you're a sixth grader straight out of elementary, when you're like, oh, we go to lunch. It's like, it's a big shift, especially in that type of area, in my opinion. Because now you worried about people with knives and trying to shiv you and catch you in the bathroom. You can't walk over there. You can't say certain things. And there was a lot of 18 streets over there too. So it was always just something. So when I found out how to move, I just learned the system. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, how do I move? I found other dudes that have brothers similar age to me, so we can be like, hey, your brother's gonna look after my brothers, my brothers look after your brothers. It's like this group type of thing. Just to survive and be, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
One of my rules that I always tell my brothers is don't fight these gangbangers, because if you beat them up, they ego is a big problem, and they gonna either say that they got jumped, or they gonna be like, oh, like, you know, nobody wanna be like world star. So it's way worse now. But I feel like it was a little bit better back then, because if people want the ones, you'd be like, we used to do slap boxing back then, and I feel like that was just some kind of like male way to test people. Like, can I mess with them? And I would always be like, okay, run it. And people, you would never have to duck, because once you duck it or something, then that's what people smell fear. And it's just like a dog eat dog type environment. And then I'm like, man, I see why they like compare it to the prison system so much. Yeah. You know, and then the school system, I feel like it really failed. Perfect example. So I don't know what or how. When I went to junior high, I don't even know if they gave me a test or not, but they put me in a special needs class. And the only reason that I knew it was a special needs class is because we was in the bungalows, and they would usually let us out earlier. And then my counselor was a great woman, Miss McElroy, yeah. And she was like, Mr. Elzy, what are you doing here? I was like, I don't know, they just put me here, you know? And then she was like, no, I don't think you're supposed to be here. She gave me a test. And then I went from special class to honor classes. Oh, wow. And I'm thinking about it. She was like, yeah, you shouldn't have been in there. And I was like, well, how did I get there? And am I the only one? And the reason why I knew something was wrong with the classroom was because when I was sitting there and I'm trying to learn, it's like people playing, joking. The teacher didn't even care. He just let them eat and do whatever they want to. And I'm like, I thought I was supposed to be learning something. Yeah. You know, so just knowing that the system is broken at that young age, I'm like, oh man, I can't trust nothing or nobody. I really got to figure it out all on my own. Wow. So it's just, yeah.
That's huge. Do you feel like in those moments that you had to be in a state of survival, living out there in the streets, like, did you feel like when you were walking, you had to always be hyper vigilant or anything like that? All the time.
And that's why you always got a crew, because you don't want them to catch you by yourself. Because, definitely you always got to, you barely get to, like, let your shoulders down, because you always got to, what's up? Like, what? What's good? You good? Like, and it's like, it's just how you gotta be. Because if not, they smell it on you. They
Yeah.
smell fear. They smell weakness. They're like, oh, he's soft. He's sweet. Like, get him. What size shoe you wear? What you
Yeah.
wearing? You know what I'm saying? Like, my size. Like, what's
Yeah.
up? But yeah. It's definitely difficult. And I remember it was a couple of times I had to beat up some gangbangers.
I was gonna ask if you ever been approached by a gang member.
Oh, all the time. But once this is before I really learned the system and before I was like, nah, I know big homie over there, so don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you gotta know certain people to be like, oh, don't approach him, don't do that. Because in the Ujima village, we was young and they knew, but out here in the streets, all these different things, it's so many different pockets and stuff, you know. So you just gotta know a certain name and drop it so they can be like, hey, let that be. You know?
Yeah.
But even so, still people would be like, I don't care, like I don't even like him like that. What's up with this? Like, what you got? Like,
yeah.
And then you like, all right, you just gotta put off the backpack and be like, man, like go ahead. And you tell your homies to like isolate it out so nobody won't hit you in the back of your head or something. So we would it's a long walk from Bret to like 104th and Fig type area. So it's a lot of different gangs and different ways that you gotta go. And especially I hated going down Colden, because Colden, it was these apartments, and I never forget, it was somebody just shooting off just because they was like, hey, where you from? And I was walking with a couple of homies, but the homie had to go a different way. Because eventually we would have to, as kids, we would have to plan out our route to go and miss certain gangs at certain points of times of the day.
Wow.
And then it's like, okay, sometimes we would have to go walk further because we don't want him walking alone. And then we would hold each other accountable. Why you wearing that color? Why you doing that? Like, why you wearing those shoes? Like, oh man, it's my fresh new stuff. That's what I never forget. I would only wear black and white, which is why like I got these like type of boring colors because I will only wear those colors because that's what I don't have to most likely get approached like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll never forget this one day, and this is when I really knew. I was like, man, I need to get up out of here. I knew it was bad, but it's when I took my brother's innocence away and I saw it. Now the third child, we go. So I told you, me and my homies, we all had brothers the same age. So we would go back to Barrett to go get our brothers once we passed the library, and we would go and I would get them after school. And then I would go home. One day in particular, it was my brother playing basketball with a bunch of other kids. And he came up to me and a homie Pete and Damon. And he was like, hey, this dude, he pushed me while I was playing basketball. While I was up in the air, he pushed me while I was in the air and I hurt myself real bad. And then I was like, and what'd you do? He was like, I didn't do nothing. I thought we was friends. You know, like I don't know why he would do that. And they started laughing at me. And I was like, well, you need to go fight him right now. And he was like, wait, what? I was like, go fight him. And he was like, that's my friend. I was like, if he was your friend, he wouldn't have did that. And then by this time, people know who I am and like know how I fight and stuff like that. Because by the time the youngest was going to school, people was like, don't mess with that boy because him and his brothers is not to play with. So, and I remember telling Charles this, and Charles was young. I don't know if he was like in 4th or 5th grade or something like that. But he's looking at me like, what should I do, big brother?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have to go beat him. Then don't stop until he says okay and he gets it. And I had to force him to go do that. And he was like, but what if they jump me? I'm like, they're not gonna jump you. I'm here. And then me and Pete, we pretty much just like circled him around. I was like, go ahead and do it. And he beat that boy. And then just looking at it and then just thinking about it, it's like it is kind of like a prison mentality, and it is kind of bad. But
that's how you had to learn.
Yeah.
To
and
get
then
through.
I told him, I was like, I'm not gonna always be here to protect you, especially at this school. You know what I'm saying? So you need to let them know. And he beat that boy up bad. And then after that, I was like, so how's it going? How's it doing? He was like, yeah, he's not bullying me no more. And I said, exactly. You know, and I'm like, we gotta teach the youngest that, and this is just how you move. Because if you want to be calm, you gotta teach. It's kind of like if you want to be out of the stuff, you gotta be like that at first to at least establish your name.
Wow.
So people won't test it.
Yeah.
So it's like very rarely you get to not fight. I don't know how it is now in schools, but that's how it was back then.
How many times do you think you fought back then?
Well, after you beat up like some of the biggest people like don't want those problems. So I'll probably say no less than 10. Okay. And probably I'm happy, and not like I'm like undisputed, but I ain't never went home beat up, because our mama would tell us, she would pretty much say, if you come home and you didn't beat that person up or you lost, you gonna get a second whooping. And it was like, oh, we don't want that. So we wanted to beat that person. We had to beat that person up, and people had to know, hey, tell them that I beat that person up, and So it's kind of like a battle when you think about it, because I have sons now, and I'm like, I would never put them through something like that.
I was gonna ask you, like, how do you feel now regarding like some of the mentalities and the values that it was at that point in time for you in comparison to
It was
now?
a different time too, though. It was like the height of like gang violence and stuff like that. So, but and like I said, I don't bash my mom for it because she's strong and she raised us to survive in the area that we was in, and that's all you could really like think about is like she raised us for the environment that we was in. Because if she didn't, they would clown me. They was like, because I was like the only black kid with like brown hair. They would be like, oh, Goldilocks and stuff like that. And if we was kids in elementary, but they would just try to clown and stuff like that. But I remember taking my brother's innocence away and then just making him tougher, making people respect him in his name, so he won't have to be in his brother's shadow. Because a lot of people, they'd be like, oh, you writing off your brother's name. He was like, no, I got it here too. Like, what's up? It's just different. So that was junior high, going through that. So when I beat up this one like big gangbanger dude, and it's crazy because when we got older and adults, I found out that he's a real killer. And I'm like, that's why I don't like to fight gangbangers. Because if he would have, like I said, he would have remembered that whooping that I gave him, he would have caught me in the street. It would have been nothing for me to be one of his bodies. He in there for life. So it's crazy seeing like the people that we went to school with, some of them turned into prostitutes on the street. I'm talking about as young as like 15, 14. People that I went to school with and was in class with, hearing that, oh, he got transferred this, and oh, he caught a body out there, and now he's in, like, they tried him as an adult, and now he's in there with real crazy killers. So it's just crazy being that close to it. You hear it, but knowing people's names and seeing them go down is different. Seeing people like die in front of you and get shot is different than seeing on movie or TV. Seeing somebody like there and then just blood, just somebody white T-shirt turning red.
You witnessed that?
A couple times.
Woo!
One of the times it was at what was it? The little Martin Luther King Shopping Center in Watts, across the street from the medical center. And somebody in broad daylight in front of, I think it was the Food for Less, and it was between a barbershop and like the Burger King. And somebody just came and just shot him in broad daylight. And my mom was, I think she was like nursing at the time or something like that. And then she tried to help him, and I'm coming up to him and I'm just looking at him with her. She's trying to, and then I'm just looking at this dude dying. I'm like, this is normal. This is everyday type stuff. Huh. And I was young. This was like, I think I was in like elementary at the time.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's just different, definitely different. But the dude, so we was playing football, throw up tackle, and because the blacktop, you either play basketball, you play football, you stay with the crew. So me and my crew, we was like, we don't really mess with the gangbangers or something like that. But for this day in particular, the gangbangers was bored, and they come over here, and then it's like a shift. You can just feel it, like, oh, nobody want to tackle them because of how they are. So it's no, and I'm like trying to play football, like, but it's because everybody knew, because we was right in their hood, so they like ran stuff there. But he hit the homie, I think it was Devon Elzy or something like that. But he like swung him or something like that, because he wasn't even that athletic. He was just big.
Yeah, just big.
And nobody wanted to touch him, so he think he was doing something. And then he tried to grab me, and I stiffed arm him, boom, and I don't know how, but I guess he was bleeding or something like that. And they was looking at me like, you really did that? And I'm like, well, you playing football. It's a contact sport. You're going to get touched. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not scared.
Yeah.
So then he got his other homie, and it was like the tallest kids in the school. I wasn't that tall. Like, they was tall.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to lie. I was nervous, and I was kind of scared. But I'm like, if I let him get on me, he going to get me. So when they found out that, like, it's like we about to do this, and I'm like pumped up from playing football and throw up tackle, because throw up tackle, it's like you get the ball and everybody's trying to tackle you. Yeah. It's not a scary sport. You know what I'm saying? Because you got everybody running. You got to be fast. You got to be quick. You got to. So pretty much, so he come up to me. He banging out, boom, and I'm like, I don't give about none of that. It's a problem with me and you right now. What's up? And then he's like scared because nobody ever really do him, and I smell it on him, and that's what I'm saying. So he stepped up to me, and I chopped him in the throat, like right here, and I got him because he tall, so we didn't got down, and I'm just giving him the work. And then his big homie trying to come in and stop, because they can't get that disrespect on their gang because they supposed to be the top dogs.
Yeah.
And he getting pieced up by a little dude. Like, so then my homie stepped in like, no, let him run him, like let him get it. And I beat him up, and then it was so bad because I ended up chipping his tooth.
Ooh.
I chipped his tooth, and that's why like I lost this right here.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, so I ended up chipping. You see, I was like all big.
Yeah.
And I chipped his tooth, and he was real bad. And then I guess the security people came in at that point, and then I hear the people like, dude, you really gave him the business, you gave him the work, boom, like you just beat up, like what's her name? And then like you feel good, but the rest of that day I was scared because I know that he's gonna. Everybody's clowning him that day. Everybody's clowning him. Everybody's saying, "What, you got beat up by Goldilocks?" Boom.
Yeah.
And I know as soon as I step outside those gates, his homies is gonna be waiting for me.
Ooh.
So I'm like, look, and I'm like in like 7th grade or something like that. So I can't even imagine thinking about this type of stuff when I'm looking at my son. And I'm like, look, man, just talking to the homies, I'm like, go pick up my brothers, stay away from me, and just go take them to my mama's house.
Wow. So you was prepping for the worst.
Yeah, I'm prepping for the worst because I'm like, just go make sure my brothers get home.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? No, boom. And then the homegirl that she was from like, I think she was like from 9-7 or something like that. She was like, hey man, I heard boom. He was like, man, forget them. I guess they was beefing or whatever. She was like, I'll tell the big homies to come look after you or something like that.
Yeah.
And then she had called the big homies on her phone, and then it was just like, I guess escorted me to a close enough area. And then that was pretty much it. And then it was just like the whole week I was like, what is it gonna be today? Is it gonna be today? Is it gonna be today? And then eventually I guess he just started worried about it. So but I know it hurt his ego. But yeah, that was one of the times, and that dude ended up growing to be like a real murderer.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like multiple. And I was like, it really could have been me.
Yeah.
But
how did all that impact your mental health at the time, if you can remember, like being in a state of survival, constantly having to, if you had to fight, be prepared to protect, all of that?
I'm gonna be honest, mental health and thinking about that type of stuff, that's like a new concept to us. Like people that grew up like that, we didn't think about. We was like, what is mental health? Like, what is that? Like we just go, we survive, we just do things. We don't have the time or the, like, I guess emotional intelligence to think and ask, how do I feel about this? We just go.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I don't. You ask somebody that grew up and stuff, like type of stuff. They're not thinking about like, oh, how do I feel about this situation?
Yeah. They're just.
Did I make it home today? Am I alive? It's a good day.
State of survival.
Yeah.